Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. It's going down. This is Rasslin Rage. We'll do it now. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade.
And now it's time for Rasslin Rage with your host, Cody Fleming.
Hey, what is going on? Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Rasslin Rage YouTube channel. This is the judging for the 2022 Indie Idol. That's right, the third round. This round was a stipulation all the way across the board of a tables match. We have 8 matches, 16 total promos, and we have 3 judges. First up, we have the only Michigan indie wrestling MC, Johnny Delicious, joining us today. Thank you. Hello and welcome.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me again. I look forward to this every couple weeks.
All right. And then we have the 2021 Indie Idol themselves, the one, the only Alex Van Sant. Hello and welcome.
What's going on?
Hey, look
Glad
at
to be here. I'm coming live from Drazeko's house.
I'm like, you're all high class.
You're
You're high class now, man. You got the whole shtick going.
I know, right? Well, it's not mine. This is the Mucho Sexy submission machines. I'm just borrowing.
Hey, I saw the production assistant out there. You got way more than I got.
Right?
So.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say Rasslin Rage don't even have any of that stuff, or MIW or anything like that. So let's get right into it. This is the judging and critique. Before I do, I just want to point out to everybody that may be watching this now or later, or even somebody that may be participating in this contest. None of this is personal. This is all just to help elevate the game, man. That's all we're doing here. We want to help everybody get better, and this is what Indie Idol is all about. And I gotta say, this was an awesome effing round. Holy man.
Oh yeah.
These were some great promos. A lot of improvements here that I love to see. So I'm going to start it off right here with TJ Meyer versus Jeremiah Goldman.
Ooh, we're getting right into that one.
Oh, now, so Johnny D gave us a little shit last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
A little bit.
I'm going to say this right now. This promo is what I've wanted to see out of TJ from day one.
Yes. I think this is what everybody wanted to see from TJ since day one.
Right. This
And
great promo.
And I give it to TJ. Like he's not sticking himself in a rabbit hole.
Mm-mm.
He's not being the same thing. He's not the broken record. He actually talks this season. Sorry, TJ, I had to throw that in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, TJ, this is where it was at. This is what we wanted to see from you. This is when I hear TJ Meyer, the lost soul. This is the TJ Meyer I wanted.
Yes.
Right? This is you. The crowbar in hand, wallowing in your sorrows outside of the venue that you were at, waiting for your next opponent, trying to figure out your life. I'll even throw it out there promo wise. It was a little Darby Allin-esque, right? Like for somebody that does the way he does his videos and everything. So I was looking at this, and I'm going to get right into this part. The sound of the wind in the background really annoyed me at first. It's even in one of my notes, like it says wind, and it's got little drawing and everything. And I think about it, but then I look at it and I'm like, but that's TJ, right? Like we don't know where we're going to find TJ. We don't know if we're going to find him inside a venue, in the basement, in the boiler room. We don't know if we're going to find him up a ladder, if we're going to find him in the backyard. It's like wherever you catch TJ, that's where he's going to talk.
Right.
And TJ, your context of this, the way you spoke, was steps above what you did before. No pun intended for last month being a ladder match, but like what you did this month was way above the way you spoke. You differentiated between you and Jeremiah Goldman. Like you as the performer that you are, and the wrestler that you are, him as the manager that can also wrestle and does a lot, but like you are two totally different entities, and you spoke on that. you also mentioned, and the one thing I mentioned in the way you said it was that you can't be hurt by the words that Jeremiah is going to use, because that's his biggest asset is his words. And he did use them. He came out swinging with this.
Yeah, he did.
But TJ, this is hands down. This is what I want to see from you every single time. Something of this nature. Don't rabbit hole yourself again, but like, this is it, man. And thank you for taking our critiques, again, not personal, and putting them into your video. Mm-hmm. This whole round, like you said, Cody, is everything that they did it. And TJ, we started with you, man, and you nailed it.
So like, I feel like going into the competition, like a lot of people looked at TJ, and maybe even he looked at himself as a guy who's like going through this competition to like put himself out there and improve as a promo and as a talker. And, you know, kind of a brave situation where it's like, you know, you can't grow where you're comfortable. And I know he's not entirely comfortable with the promo situation, but he was becoming more comfortable, and we saw improvements and more improvements. But this wasn't just an improvement. This was a level up.
Yeah,
I felt.
Yes.
This version of TJ Meyer isn't here to, you know, improve his game throughout the thing and just happy to be here and figure it out. This version of TJ Meyer is here to win. This is the kind of promo that could land you in the playoffs. This is the kind of promo that can win the whole thing. So I'm going to actually read my notes verbatim. I know I'm going to repeat what you said a little bit, Johnny, but I want to read them verbatim, because here's what I wrote. As soon as I started watching, I was like, yes, yes, yes. Incredible intensity. And last week I said I didn't all the way believe you. This week I believed you 100%. You worked in the desperation, and the crowbar showed up. It felt like because you had the crowbar, it was like, this is the TJ Meyer mid-match who's just furious and just ready to go. I did say the volume with the wind was a little bit distracting, but it works for your character. It was short and sweet, and I thought it ended exactly where it needed to. I wanted maybe a little bit more talk about the tables, but that was okay. Like you got it in there enough. I loved the level changes throughout. You went from desperate to angry to violent. You put over your strengths. You put over his strengths. How you're going to do this. You grounded TJ Meyer as a character. You grounded him as a person. And then and you talked about like almost like the demons and how you're going to use those to like beat him. His words can't hurt you. And I also put at the end of this, I'm like, this is it. All caps. This is it. So I loved it. I absolutely loved it. This is everything that we wanted to see.
Yep.
Absolutely.
If I was a promoter, and let's just throw it out there. If I was a promoter and I asked you for a promo, this is the promo I wanted.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna get into it. TJ, I gave it to TJ, and I gave it to him by 7 points. And I gave it to I scored him really high on his character, really high on his emotion. His creativity was a little bit lower, but I mean it was very like 1 point low, and his context was there. So he takes it 30-23 for me.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a big one.
Okay, so I mean, we didn't really talk about Jeremiah's promo.
No, we haven't
at all. But I want to do that really quick.
Okay.
Yes.
So what I thought, like his body language was always captivating. I always loved it. He's all flowy. Verbally, I thought he was very smooth in this one. He didn't do my pet peeve, which is like the filler words over and over. He didn't do that at all. This is pretty good. He did a good job bringing up TJ's former feuds and his past with War Inc. I thought that was good. And I liked that he like got angry at a point in it and dropped it down. I think this was like a good angry Goldman that we don't always get to see. And I liked how he really worked in the table. However, I did feel like in this one, he did this promo in a way that while it was good, it was a good promo. I thought it was like, maybe I'm not going to take TJ super serious in this one. Let's just kind of do one of these and get on with it. And that was a big mistake today because let me find what numbers I have here. But yeah, I gave Jeremiah 33 and TJ, he got a 36. He got a so TJ got a 10 for me on emotion. He got a 10 for me on character. And the only thing he kind of dropped anything on was the context, only because there could have been a little bit more table in there, but I didn't even really hurt him on that either. He still got, A pluses and A's and B's across the board from me. Like, great job.
So I agree to an extent with you both, but I went the other route with this. So the day after, not even the day after, just an hour after last judging, I got a message that says, so more me, less me, y'all got me lost. But I agree I lost. This was the best I've ever seen. That was for who Goldman's opponent was last judging. What we said, Jeremiah brought out, right? We brought
He did.
More,
he absolutely did.
but we also brought less, right? Creativity wise, I've seen better from Jeremiah, but also what I really loved about this was the tables being all around him, right? Only using one. Loved that aspect of it. And again, I don't know if all this stuff is intentional. This is just how I look at it, right? I loved that he spoke to TJ about his long-term storytelling and
Yes, I
how
like that too.
he is going to be another chapter in it, like you mentioned, right? I would have loved to have seen the end of that video being where he slammed it down on the table versus bringing it back up.
Yeah.
That's fine. But here's my top note for this. And Jeremiah, take this how you want. It wasn't too over the top, but it wasn't too lackluster. And I appreciate this. And I am a little off on what you two said. I evened them out. They both tied for me on this because they both took everything we said last judging.
Yep.
And they upped it, they downed it, and they added it all together. And both of them did what we wanted them to do. Another one, Jeremiah, if I was a promoter and I wanted you on my show and asked you for a video, this is a video I would put out.
Absolutely.
So I tied both of them. Obviously, you both put up TJ on it. So obviously we're going with that agreement.
Right. Well,
And again, I thought it was a good Jeremiah promo. I just
100%.
felt like I did like his promo last week better. I think I actually have my last week's scores pulled up. I remember I think I did have him winning the last round, but I don't know. It was actually very close. I can't remember.
It was very close last round.
Yeah, it was very, very close last round.
But the other one did win.
I can't remember
His opponent did win.
like this one. Oh no, I think I did pick Road Rash the last second. But anyway, this round, he couldn't have seen this coming. I didn't see this coming. This wasn't like an improvement. This was a level jump for me.
And that's exactly what it was for me. It was like, if I were to look at the two promos, which one got me more emotion for me, interacted me and wanted me, and I would have to give it to TJ. He got more emotion out of me at the end of the day. So
there it is.
So we got TJ right there on that one. Okay. Going into the next one, dude, this is a main event in my book. And you might disagree, but Mark Ross, Mr. 401k versus Jamie.
You're going up.
My gosh, this one was so hard. They were both so good. And I just find that, I find it so interesting that this is how good these guys are, that they have all this information about each other, right? More so Mark than anything, because Mark really did his research. He knew everything about Jamie Eternal. He's telling us everything it was just amazing. And so he knew his opponent very well. The narration went right along. Mark's promo, his narration went right along with what images we were seeing before us, right? And the things that he was talking about. Oh, such great work, man. It added to the emotion, the whole thing. I really loved it. It really made me feel, right? And then Eternal, man, his laugh, he has got that thing down to a T. Eternal. Oh, I love his laugh so much. I really do. again, another great. It's funny that they both did. I wouldn't say it's funny, but they both had a narration. You know, Mark's was all narrated, where Jamie's was narration and a little bit of himself. But Eternal, they both told great stories to me, man. Like I felt like I was like I could sit down and I could have listened for a long time to both of these guys tell me things, right? They both told me a story. Great promos from both of them. Hard one to judge. Very hard to judge. Who wants to go?
I mean, I can. Or,
Yeah, go for it, ABZ.
oh, okay. Sure. So they were both very, very good. These are two people who are kind of you know, in the hunt right now for sure.
Both.
So and they're both vets. They both know their characters inside and out. They know what they're doing, and they're coming in. Now, I guess we can talk about both of them. I'll do that. So I loved Mark Ross's promo. I liked that he really put Jamie Eternal's character over in the process of putting over his own character. I liked that he was referencing the multiverse of madness, since that's like the current like pop culture thing to like pop in there right now. I thought that was very, very clever. And I liked that he put over Jamie's toughness juxtaposed to his own toughness. I love all the footage. I felt like the footage was going right along with what he was doing in the narration, which when you do narration promos is actually kind of hard to do sometimes. Getting like the exact video timing to like line up with your words sometimes can feel forced, and it did not feel forced in this one. I thought that was really good. So something I'll say about this one though is something that was said to me in the first year of Indie Idol, something that I got critiqued on, and that was that I kind of did these narration promos as well, where I would do like a song over, you know, and then do video kind of to create context to it, but it was essentially a narrated thing. And then the question was, are you doing a vignette or are you doing a promo? And I think that both are applicable and fine in this situation, since it's a video promo competition. Both of them work. However, I would like to see it cut to you, even if it's just for 5 to 10 seconds of you talking in real time, because when you're talking in real time, you can say things with your eyes in a way that it's kind of hard to see when you're narrating in general or talking over something else. Like I want to see that emotion as you say whatever it is, you know, and I can feel the emotion when you're talking, right? But like to see it displayed when you're actually talking, looking in your eyes and like believing you, I want to see that, even if it's just for a second, to sign us off, to remind us that you're really there. You know what I mean? That's the only thing on that one, but I did rate it very, very high. So for Jamie Eternals, also I rated this one pretty high. I liked the creativity of stalking his prey. He did like an inner monologue of like Dexter. This was like Dexter for sure. And as he was like, it was almost like my dark passenger type deal. I loved that when he shot back to do his monologue, he had like the killing table there, and you could like this is Dexter, like it's right there. This is what I wanted to see out of Jamie Eternal the whole time. You know what I mean? This is what we wanted. And like, I understand wanting to go like a more stripped down version of it, because like, you know, it's like, oh, you know, I don't want to look like the guy who's like relying on the effects and the characters and the story. But it's like, no, now is the time to do that, because like now, like this is a whole new season, all new people for you to like impress and for them to see for the first time what's going on. And I did feel like the first 2 weeks of Jamie Eternal promos, like he won and he tied, but it was just like, you know, they were kind of middle of the pack scores. They were good, not great. I felt like this one was great. I really, really, really liked this one a lot. This is for me, my favorite promo from Jamie Eternal so far this competition, and it's not even close. And for that reason, I did give it to Jamie Eternal, because he got tens for me on both character and creativity. He got an 8 on emotion and 9 on context for a 37. Mark got 9 on context, 9 on creativity, 8 on emotion, only because I couldn't see his eyes there. And then 9 on character for me as well. So very good scores, 35-37, but I did go with Jamie Eternal on this one.
Oh wow.
I like it. I actually gave it to Eternal too, by Slim Pickens. I'm going to start with that. It is exactly what we asked of Jamie. Not to stick to the same exact promo of the voiceover into it. He went into the voiceover, but he still had that live context. ABZ, you nailed it. Mark, I think if we would have had that little bit of personal look like we did the last two, you would have blown this away. I think you could have added something at the end. However, long-term storytelling for the two of you is immense. Mark going from, you talk about Jamie Eternal talking about his internal demons and stuff like that, his dark passenger, but in reality we saw that out of Mark too, right? The references of his past creations and stuff like that, and the past characters that he used to be, and then finally realizing that wasn't him, but he had been through so much pain and everything, and the emotion was there and you felt it. Everything was there, like you mentioned, the creativity, the context, the emotion. This is the one that I felt lost character. This is the one that I felt really lost at Mr. 401k, right? Like, and that's really where I put the points at for these two. Eternal has that character, but Eternal played both those characters too, right? But you saw it. Mark's context, like those throwbacks to the movies, the Busta Rhymes thing with Michael Myers, and all those little jabs and everything. But you're right, he researched as well. Both of these were 100% believable. But Jamie Eternal, that final part where he switched over and it wasn't just his internal monologue going over, is really what got it for me. I want to see this in an actual tables match.
Amen.
I'm not going to lie to you. Like,
Amen.
This match gets booked somewhere, I will be at this show, whether I am booked on the show or not as the MC or whatever I'm doing. I would watch this show just to see this match.
So this was my tie because I really enjoyed both of these promos. I really did, and I can't say enough about them. I really enjoyed both of these. So, but because this is why we have other judges. You both gave it to Eternal, so Eternal takes the W on that one. So congratulations to you.
Well, and that's what's fun about it being Swiss format this year is where like now we're into the tough guys, right? Like these are two guys who we know can do it, and they have great records, and just like this one and the last one we just talked about, like it's getting tight. Like being really good sometimes is not enough anymore. You know what I mean? Being really good sometimes isn't enough. You need everything. So
yeah, for sure. Okay, well, now we're going to go to the one known as the Vape God, Fletch Malone, and the Cannonball, Alex Steele. And, dude, so I really enjoyed Cannonball's promo. I just really liked it. His timing when he spun around and the flames hit, mucho grande, loved it. He very well spoken in this promo. He was confident. He felt more confident than he has in the past in his other promos. I just really enjoyed his promo. I really did. Fletch, great use of the table, man. I like the table use, hitting the table. There was a lot of background noise that really made me want to know where you were at. That's what I was more like at some point, is having this short attention span that I do. I'm not going to say it's because all the dabs I do or anything, but short extension span. I was just like, dude, where are you? You know what I mean? So, but other than that, both good promos and I enjoyed them. But I gave this one to Alex Steele. I didn't give it to him, but I scored it in Alex Steele's favor. And so, yeah.
Alex for sure took this one from me as well. Fletch, I don't know. Maybe it was, like you said, it was where are you going with it? It felt a little rushed. Things I did like, I wasn't, okay, so I wasn't overwhelmed. I wasn't underwhelmed. I was just whelmed, right?
Right.
the background noise. I could hear people in the background. I don't know if that was just my video or like what it was, but it sounded like all I was hearing was people talking in the background. It kind of made me lose it. And that's where I went. I have ADHD sometimes, man, and I apologize. I enjoyed the use of the table. I enjoyed the chair. Like you're stepping yourself up. Now you're in a throne, right? Like you're the vape god. You're in a throne. You got it. You're moving that part up. Your character is still there. You even used Alex's gimmick against him. Like you said, you're going to go through you're going to cannonball yourself through that table to beat the cannonball. I loved that. But again, like it was hard for me to get to the points that I liked. It was just it was very choppy for me. Alex, yes, confidence is huge. The confidence that you have is there. Upon my first meeting of Alex, I wouldn't expect this out of Alex. This is not the Alex Steele that I've originally met. This is an Alex Steele of a different breed. Changing the background and explaining why he was in a different background, because he's been in the same background for a while. So it's like, hey, you guys told me to do this. I changed, and here's why I'm here. I love the searching for the wood and the wordplay that you did for the perfect piece of wood, for the, all that stuff was great. The little bit of pyro and everything, that was wonderful for the timing, like you said. However, I'm going to get back into it, man. If it's broke, you don't fix it. I don't know if you're going to continue doing the same. There is a little bit more that can come out of you, man. And we mentioned it about some other people, is like, when are we going to see more intensity out of you? When are we going to see an actual intense, like, this is Alex Steele, but Alex Steele could have that angry side. Is he always going to be the Doink the Clown? But Alex Steele took it.
All right. So with Fletch, I liked his setting, just like everyone else said. I thought that was very cool with the throne. And I think he did listen. He listened quite a bit with some of the critiques before. He brought context to the council, and I got like Illuminati vibes there. And like he kind of brought in the Council of the Gods type deal, and I like the God talk, and he felt crazy. You know what I mean? He felt crazy, and I liked his use. So not every promo needs an F-bomb, but if you're going to do it, make it count. And I feel like he made it count on this one. So I thought the talking and the context was pretty good, and the bang on the table and whatnot. One of the things is like, I feel like this is the least creative of the ones he's done so far, as I was concerned. So it's like Fletch is like taking the critiques that we're giving him, that were like, okay, we want to see more of this, but don't throw away what we liked. You know what I mean? Like some of the things that we liked was like the creativity, and it was so different and whatnot. And yes, the background noise was, I heard it too. It was a little bit distracting. Cannonball, Alex Steele. Like not everyone can pull off like such a white meat comedy baby face the way he does. It's so good. Like I physically like this. I don't have it in me to do this like the way, like, because it's real. I believe you. Like you really like this, like that. It's very creative, great use of surroundings. The character was on point. I like that you didn't show us a table, but you are creative in a way that like we still made that context work with the wood instead. I thought that was very clever. Yes. I kind of wanted to see a stunt. Like the last one, you did the thing with the step ladder and you bonked your head. I'm like, kind of wanted a little bit of that in there. But yeah, emotional always kind of be a bit of a thing, but I don't really know if that's, he had more as like that underdog baby face emotion. And there were a couple little verbal stumbles along the way, but that's that's endearing to his character almost in a way. Yes. Where he just makes up for that with that raw, unbridled charisma. And since I do know Alex, is like, yeah, he really does talk like that. Like, yeah, he stumbles every now and then, but it's like a lot of people do. Like, not everyone, when they go in to cut a promo, is perfectly articulate and going to wait for the exact moment. Not everyone's like that. Right. And it's okay. And he's making it work. And so, yes, I also went with Alex Steele on this one. And my scores were specifically, I gave him an 8 for context, a 9 on creativity, an 8 on emotion, a 9 on character for a 34. Fletch got a 33 with the ding coming in creativity mostly. But yeah.
All right. So Alex Steele.
I'll tell you, man, I'm just waiting for Alex Steele to be shot out of a cannon. If it doesn't happen on video,
Oh, we
if it
can't
doesn't
bury
have
the
it on
lead.
video, we're gonna have to talk.
That'd be definitely be sweet.
But
All
it was
right.
good. It was good. Thank you.
Now we're gonna get into Josh Harper versus Davison Sarai. Holy, this is another level. In my opinion, this was another level up, and Davison Sarai just leveled up, in my opinion. I really think so. This is a lot of the emotion I think you guys were talking about that you wanted to see. Not only was it the emotion, but it wasn't just a flip of a switch and we went from this to that. We were told the story of how she got to that. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the story. I really did enjoy that. It's all there. Everything that you can ask for, the context, it's all there. It's all there. Some things I like about Josh's promo is that he built both of them out. He talked about himself, but he also talked about Davison. And, he talked about how he has experience in tables matches, how it might not be in a wrestling ring. However, he has experience putting somebody through a table. I thought that it was interesting. And he inserted his own personal humor that we all know Josh for. One of the things that we all love Josh for is his humor. I know that's one of the things I like Josh for, but I think that it was personal. It wasn't personal, but he made it personal, not in a way that was bad. And let's put it that way. But I'm Josh, I love you, brother, but Davison smoked you on this one, dude. That's just my opinion.
Well, I want to talk. I'll start with Harper. I like this one a lot better than his one last week, to be honest.
Right.
He did say he said "you see" more than once, which more than one person did that this week, and I will bring it up every time because it's a pet peeve. He explained how he was going to win. I thought his story was really funny. I did think it lagged on for about 5 to 10 seconds longer than it needed to story-wise. I thought you could have cut the fat in that a little bit as far as the story itself goes, as to Thanksgiving and whatnot. But you put the table stipulation at the forefront. That was good. Loved that. You put over your opponent and the fact that she's a technical wrestler, and you highlighted your own strengths, which is going to be your size. And you did get in the ice cream thing. I know where to get the desserts. I liked that. And I did like how you level changed when you said drive, you threw the table, you brought it up for me. And that's what I wanted to see. So that was pretty good. I like that. So as far as Davison goes, talk about listening to the feedback. She was already one of my favorite promos so far because I did always love her alliteration, which she didn't cut out here. The wordplay was still there, especially in the second half where she was kind of cooling down from her own self, the rage that she brought herself to. She's bringing it down, and it was up, down, 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 down. She was letting the crazy slip out, which is what I wanted to see, which is what you see in her matches. And now she did it live by giving us a presentation of those matches. She listened to feedback. She changed it up. Everything was awesome. Let's keep doing what we're doing, keep exploring the character, because this added a layer to the character that we all kind of knew existed, but we needed you to we needed just a little bit more to see it. And now we get it. I was abused and all this other stuff. I witness crimes on a day-to-day basis in my own home. And that's kind of why I am the way that I am. That's what we wanted to see 100%, especially, from a newer character such as yourself, so hats off 100%. I went Davison on this one. I will give you my scores really quick. I gave a 10 to Harper for context because it was all about the tables here. I gave a 7 for creativity, 8 on emotion, and 7 on character for a 32. Davison got an 8 on context because I thought she could have maybe brought the table aspect into it a little bit more. But 9 on creativity, 9 on emotion, 10 on character, 36. Easily one of my favorite promos, and she's a front runner in this competition for sure.
Definitely. Here's the thing with Harper: you're still listening, you're still learning.
Yep.
You're not you're not the biggest part of this business, right? So you taking what we say and what we do and running with it has been phenomenal. All right. Creativity of this one, the words that you used, and like Cody said, the little bit of comedy and humor that you used was in there. It was right. The way you described how you were going to do it, the creativity there was amazing. The creativity of the video from what I'm used to seeing you, because I put over last judging huge. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. I think that's great. We need a balance between your humor and your anger. And it was almost there. It was almost there. The emotion was there. I believed you. I believed everything you said. I believed you about the parties, like Thanksgiving and all that stuff, going through the tables and everything. And again, the context of using the tables and everything. Talking about being happy at the end was great. Putting over your opponent. I was always taught this. American kickboxer, Truth Martini taught me this. Put over your opponent, because no matter what, if your opponent beats you, you already knew they were that good. You don't want to shit on your opponent, right? And I don't know if you know this. So what you're doing is putting that person over. So even if you, as the ice cream man, loses, it's because you lost to somebody that was better than you. But if you win, you just beat somebody that's better than you, right? So like you have that, and you have that going for you in your storytelling, and I appreciate that a lot. I also love, I didn't know about Davison being a submission expert. I didn't know this. So you being able to throw that out there for us was huge. Going over to Davison, this is the highest score I have this round of all of them. I believe that she had that before and after placement, right? Like this could have been the first promo of this grouping, of this feud. It could have been the second promo. Didn't really matter. It was there. Yes, I would have liked to have heard a little bit more about the table aspect of it, but it was there. The fact that you used your life and your background too to be like, hey, why I'm going to beat you, or like what's going on in like your angry side, but you used our words as the judges as to why you're going to beat Harper, right? This was on us. So if anything were to happen to you, I would believe it's because of the three of us. So if Harper, you die, I apologize. It's because of the three of us telling Davison to bring out that angry side, and it is so sophisticated and angry that I love it. Your cadence, Davison, was amazing. The delivery of this whole thing was on point. Having you at the end of it was awesome, and I do love all of it. And I'm going to straight up just say thank you for this, because that was the highest rated promo I've seen this whole thing so far.
Oh, damn. Did you hear that praise? So Davison takes the W over Josh. Love you, Josh. I really do. Okay.
That makes Davison 3-0, right?
Yes. I do. So here in this round, unfortunately, we had someone not turn in a promo. But Billy Ray Daniels, I like what he did here. I really did like what he did. I think this was one of the better promos he's done so far. He set it up nicely. You know, he kind of did, you know, he mentioned Forever Young's podcast, Killing the Business. And he's like, we're not going to do Killing the Business. And he showed us who he is. He's got his alcohol collection there. And he's got his, you know, his Proving Ground Championship standing there, you know, kind of like Forever Young does with his stuff. And he just tells us exactly how it is. And I like this one. I really did. And he takes the win automatically because Forever Young, unfortunately, to my understanding, was ill and wasn't able to do it. So he's DQ'd in this round. So you guys got anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I mean, like, Forever Young used to go by King Forever Young for a little bit, and I'm like, he's the king of bad beats, because he actually was sick this whole week. I did know about that. You know, he has been sick all week. He had to not come out for a few things because of it. And you know, it's unfortunate. Like he took two of the like worst beats as far as like losses go early. And then, you know, you didn't really get it in, but that's okay. You know, like sometimes it's just like that. But yeah, this is my favorite Billy Ray Daniels promo so far in the competition. I love the background. I love the way you kind of like mocked Forever Young's promo style. I like the veteran aspect in there, talking about how you've seen guys like him, very talented, come and go. Very solid promo. The only thing for me is that you said put you through this table twice in like the same sentence, as well as like you said like that you see more than once, and those are just like little things that like always get me, where it's like filler. But overall very good. I liked the background, but yeah, very good.
Forever Young, I hope you feel better. Not going to talk about anything else on that end of it right now.
Right.
We're just going to go into Billy. I didn't know Billy could articulate this way. He is straightforward. We talked about that. You mentioned how he's usually pretty straightforward on what he's going to do and how he's going to do it. He did that here, but in a really good way. I love the setup, the references of the rookies, and he had his rookie award right there, right? That's a pretty high award for a lot of people in Michigan in the indie scene, especially the rookies. A lot of those guys are really going for that. So for him to show that off and be like, hey, I've seen everybody come and go, but I'm still here. Where are they at? He didn't want Forever Young to do that, right? This is the best promo I've seen from Billy in a long time. And I will just straight up say the lyrics that he tied into Forever Young at the end popped me huge. I loved it. I didn't even know that this dude had it in him.
Right.
Again, Billy Ray, thank you for that, man. I appreciate it. This was a good one.
Yeah, nice. All right, going right into the next match. So Billy Ray gets a W there. Heather Blue versus Mongo. This was a good one. Good match. I like her.
Mad.
Huh?
I'm mad.
You're
I'm
ma-
mad.
you're-
I'm mad.
Okay.
I'm mad. Damn it, Heather.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. I'm mad. All right, Heather, you've been going above and beyond what you did. I'm sorry I'm starting this.
No,
you've been
go.
going above and beyond what you've been doing, right? Like what I expected out of you the last couple of, promos and everything. You've taken all of our words and everything you've learned and everything. I personally felt that your context was great. You talked about what you were going to do, how you were going to do it. This is your character. Your branding, I don't know if the video cut, but your branding of the hashtag that I've been putting over so huge at the end wasn't there. I was disappointed in that because you started it and everybody followed you. Okay. You did your hashtag bet on blue or relentless at the end. And I saw so many others do this at the end of theirs after you did it. And we praised it. The emotion wasn't there. I understood it, but this felt like you were looking in a mirror, talking to yourself on how you were going to do it. Your creativity just wasn't there. I'm just that part just disappointed me so much. Like even last one, you had the ladder and everything out. I know you can do more. I know you have it in you, and I just feel like you lost it right at that point with me, and it was just more so you were trying, but you didn't know what you wanted to do, and I feel you really dropped the ball on that one. I know you're going to come back bigger from this, and I know we're going to bet on blue. You're going to get us there. It's just, I need more creativity out of you. And I know we need to know who you are. Mm-hmm. Mongo, this is what we've been waiting for, man.
This was good.
Oh yeah.
He did want me to add that no children were harmed in this promo, just so everybody knows.
I visually saw that children were harmed in this promo, so I don't care what he says.
You know what? But they're Mongoloid children, man. Those kids are crazy. He definitely didn't kill his camera person. He killed a child. This is Mongo written all over it. The branding at the end. This is something that I'm sorry, you got this from Heather in this promo contest. Heather was the one that started it. Heather would put her brand on everything at the end. Heather did all of that. You added even more. You built on that, and I love the way you did it. You even mentioned, go buy a shirt. Heather even mentioned she was going to buy a shirt and did that. Like I said, context was great on her end, but everything Mongo did in this, the creativity, you're listening, you're doing it, the child. The only thing that didn't give you a perfect score, dude, and I'm so sorry, is the laughing. You broke your own character. You straight up broke your own character, and that gave you a non-perfect score. But yes, I think that and small things, but like great promo. I loved it. Thank you. Heather, I'm sorry that you had to go up against that promo this round.
Yeah.
Because that was great.
Right.
Right. I mean, like, yeah, I'll start with Mongo, I guess. Hilarious. This is what I wanted the whole time out of Mongo. Like, it's so funny. It's so him. He went above it. This is the effort that we always wanted to put it. He put the child through the table, dressed as Heather. So good. Mongoloid Nation. I love it. And the same thing, like he cracked a little bit, which did keep it from the perfect score for me, but he scored very high. I gave him a 36 here. This is by far the best Mongo promo I've seen in this competition, but not one that I didn't think he could do, because I've seen him do this level before. And this is what I've always wanted to see out of him in this competition. Like, this is the Mongo that we needed.
Yes.
So Heather, I have a few like direct things I think that you can work on, maybe, because I do agree 100% with what Johnny said about this, but I have a few like specifics. So if you can, try to fix the background, if you could, like at the you're kind of like in your room, that's fine. See if you can find like a way to change your background filter like Solomon Stone does or something like that. Or if you can't, just like maybe find like a blank wall if you could. Or I liked when you were outside. I liked that one too. So you did use your hands in this one, but unfortunately the camera was close enough to you where I couldn't really see everything that your hands were doing. So I needed to zoom back, maybe take it like 1 foot backwards, and we would have been golden there, because you were using your hands, but half the time they were kind of right here. And so it's like, I see you're doing something, but what are you doing? I can just see thumbs. You know what I mean? So you put over your opponent's character a lot, and you put over Mongo's strength, but you did so at the detriment of your own character. You kind of buried yourself a little bit. You did explain how you were going to win, but you buried yourself a little. And it's actually kind of rare that I'd be like, oh, you put your opponent over too much. It's like, no, it's not so much that you put Mongo over too much. It's that you sold yourself short. And you spent a lot of the promo talking about how great Mongo is and about Mongo's character, but then you didn't really give me anything about Heather's character. Tell me more about Heather Blue. Like, what makes, like, yeah, okay, you're fast, you're going to get him, you're going to relent, you did say bet on Blue. I did like that, but again, I wanted the hashtag relentless in there. But explore the character, find out who Heather Blue really is. Like, and you can do it as an exercise if you want, maybe even at home. Start thinking about the character, live that character, maybe even become Heather Blue for like a day of just like walking around talking to your family. Today you're Heather Blue, you know what I mean? And that way you can get a better idea of maybe, what did Heather Blue do in third grade? Like, what was she thinking? What was her upbringing? What were her friends like? Who does she hang out with? Where does she eat? Like, I always like to think about my own character. It's like, what would AVZ do if he walked into the bank? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is AVZ at the bank like?
I want to see that.
Well, right. Well, or maybe you do. You know what I mean? Right. It's like, but maybe you do, because like maybe it's ridiculous, right? And it is ridiculous. But that's what I'm saying. Like, explore those over the top situations. Like what happens when like you go to McDonald's and the ice cream machine is broke? How does Heather Blue react to that? It's its own thing. And I think with a little bit more character work, finding who you are, it'll really help quite a bit. I felt this was a little bit of a step backwards, but 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Don't worry about it. Bounce back. You're going to do better going forward. And Mongo did kind of just ace this. He understood the assignment and he aced it on this one.
He did.
Heather, you'll be back. We love it. Keep working.
Yeah.
Yes. Keep it up.
Heather, I wanted to say, like, I like how she came up with a plan A and a plan B. Here's if this works, but if that don't work, I'm going to do this. But like you said, she undersold herself because she was just going to run away, and that was pretty much it, right? You know what I'm saying? However, I gave it to Mongo too. I didn't give it to him, but I scored it in Mongo's favor. So all the judges scored it in Mongo's favor. So Mongo gets the win in that one. So next up,
if you don't mind, really quick, Cody.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Like something I just thought as soon as you said that. When you said, "Oh, you were going to run away," that's something I want to talk about really quick for Heather. Heather, quick note. You kind of cut a babyface promo, but then talked about your strategy being running away and like getting him in the eyes. That's like a heel tactic. Like if you were a chicken shit heel, that makes a lot of sense. But because you kind of cut it as the context of the underdog babyface, uh, you know, it doesn't really make a lot of sense unless you're like kind of like a lovable scamp type character like Eddie Guerrero. But then we need more of that context. So like, be careful like thinking about like what you do in the match representing who you are as a character. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all. So I'm sorry.
All right. Okay. So we're going to move into Solomon Stone versus Road Rash. I enjoyed Solomon Stone's promo quite a bit, actually. I felt like he did a great job. He did a good job of finding, like, showing that he respects him, but he's going to beat him. You know, he talks about the table. It wasn't a lot of table, but he did a Solomon Stone promo, different background. He used a Nomad-esque background, right? Because they do that filter thing. I think he did a great job, in my opinion. And I liked Road Rash's promo too, but I don't. How did we get to that point? How did we get to Road Rash having Solomon Stone and he's talking to him in a bag, right? I don't know. I was a little lost there, just personally. That I don't know.
So
I think Solomon Stone won this one, in my opinion.
okay. So for me, I like them both quite a bit. I think both of these guys are heavy hitters in this competition, and we're seeing exactly why. Solomon Stone's I like quite a bit. I liked his motivation. I like that he put over his opponent while mocking him throughout. Yeah, oh, we're cool, but also slight microaggression, and also we're cool, but now I'm gonna mock you a little bit here, but we're still friends, right? I love that. So I like that he dressed up at the beginning. That was very funny. I like no. You know, this is I like that even when he was out of the Road Rash character that he did at the very, very beginning, he still kind of like had the biker theme going on throughout it anyway, which is kind of funny to me. I really like he's such a good, confident talker that it's I feel like it's his floor is so high. Like his floor is so high when he cuts promos. It's like it's not good. Like it's for sure going to be at least good. It's going to be at least good, which is like it. That means so much. If I was a promoter, that would mean so much to me. You know what I mean? Just knowing that, like handing him the mic, the worst thing that can happen is that it's awesome.
Right.
So, and as far as Road Rash goes, I actually really like this promo. Always 100. You're always going to get 10 out of 10 on intensity for me, just because of the way you do it. It's just that's just Road Rash, right? Okay, super intense. At the beginning, I was a little worried that this was a little bit similar to last week's. And then you kind of like brought in the table and you made a part of it. And like you lit somebody on fire. I don't know. Like, I hope a mannequin. I sure hope. But it was pretty cool. Like you lit the table on fire.
You gotta
really
win.
Like that
you
one.
gotta win.
What's up?
You gotta win. That's all I'm gonna say is you gotta win. So light on fire, whoever it was.
Right. Yes. So for this one, for me, this was my tie.
Ooh.
I had them both tied on this one because I thought both of them were like very, very good. Neither of them blew me away, but I thought it was very, very good. Both of them, like, you know, like, I think it was 35 to 35 here for me.
Oh man.
Okay. All right.
Johnny Delicious is gonna have to.
Let's see. I was worried at the beginning. Yes, Road Rash. I thought it was going to be the same promo. I liked the ending of it. The beginning, the music thing was a little loud. You know, it took away from the start of the message, and then backing away. I would like to see you dabble a little more if you're going to do vignettes like this in voiceover. I think that's really what would have taken that. But I got it. Like we're not all great at that. That's cool. But like what you were saying was still there. It's another thing where if you're going to keep winning, if it's not broke, don't fix it type of thing. I definitely put you over. I got you over on 1 point on this one. You took it over Solomon. Solomon kept true to your character, but you also put him over. It's a very not Solomon thing to do that I've seen in the past. But the way you did it was brilliant. You know, everybody else has been doing jokes and stuff like that, and you decided to jump in on that train. Like I liked it. I really did. The one thing about yours was like, I don't know, maybe I'm just looking at this a little differently. Like, as I don't know if you're putting it over as a match or if you're putting it over as a promo contest. And I think that's where I kind of get lost in your videos. And I like that you added the logo at the end. Again, you took from other people. You branded it your logo, put your logo at the end and everything. But again, I think the point differentiator for me out of all of this was the fact that I don't know whether it's just a promo contest or a match. And I get it. It's a promo contest. I don't know. I just like to would have seen more of like, not really mention that it's a promo contest like a lot of us do, but go there. Road Rash in the end took it by 1 point, and he just had a little bit more emotion in this than Solomon did in that. But Solomon's creativity, context was all there. His character is there, and I loved it. But yeah, Road Rash took it for me.
Oh man!
So I guess that splits it. I guess
and we got to go to points. We got to go to points. So how many points did you give Road Rash?
32.
32, and how many? Oh, and you're tied, so it don't matter, does it?
Yeah, and then 31 for
35.
Solomon.
So 32, 29, that's 61.
By the way, as an aside, I feel like, Road Rash made it to the finals last year.
Oh, yeah.
And I like his promos this year, even like the first three. I like them even better than the ones he did last year. And that's what brought him all the way to the finals. Like, this year is very impressive.
What'd you say you gave Solomon Stone?
31.
That makes Solomon Stone the winner. 62-61.
It happens.
Yeah. Oh wow.
It happens. And I'm not mad. Like I said, it was very close to these two, and I thoroughly enjoyed both of them, and thought it was the right route to go for both of them.
But again, it's only Road Rash's first loss, and we have 2 more rounds to go before we get to the final 4. So it's not like he's out of he's not out of the mix yet, and he's one of the top dogs. So then we're gonna hit the last one. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Garrix versus Josh Morris. Oh my God, did we create a monster? Josh Morris. Wow. That was magnificent. I'm just going to say it right now. Everything we wanted you to do, you're doing it, and I thoroughly enjoy it. I really do. It's a little bit different than what everybody else does, right? Because, I mean, it's one of those things, you got to be different. And you're doing it, the little funky noises you use in your promo when you're coming in and out with a doink, doink, or whatever it is. Cool. Love it. Keep doing that. Definitely cool. Seeing Dobson again, this time not in his own little video, but he's there with you. A little bit different than last time. Enjoyed it, right? Definitely enjoyed it. Tony Garrix, the captain. He's not in space anymore, so that's good. He's not a space.
I have a theory. I have a theory about this, but I'll get into that later.
Right, okay, not in space anymore, but he did a good promo, and it was a good promo. I don't have a lot negative to say about it. But I think that Josh Morris brought his A game, and Josh Morris killed it on this one, in my opinion. And they both did good promos, but I think Josh Morris wins this one.
So I'll start with Tony. I like this filter a lot better than last week's and the weeks before.
He's a space pirate.
The opening was like very creative. When you think about table matches, you have to think about the Dudleys, right?
Right.
I did think you leaned a little heavy on the Dudley gimmick, but it is what it is. Overall, it was a very solid promo. You were very heavy on focusing on the match stip, which I really, really like. I like that you talked about how you're going to be lifting weights and studying and drinking. The captain thing is really working, and it was a good promo, man. Like, I thought this one was pretty good. Yeah, you got 10 on context for me on this one. And then there's Josh Morris. So I actually have a little bit of inside information on Josh. Is going into last week, like in hindsight now, he told me he actually didn't really listen to our critiques that much. He just wanted to do the best Josh Morris promo that he could do. And in my mind, I'm like, that's even better. Like, you fixed our critiques. Like, so you knew what to do the whole time. And that's what I kind of came off. Like, that's what I blasted him with on week 1. Anyway, I was like, I do know Josh Morris. I do know what you can do. Like, what the hell was that? And talk about a comeback, going from like one of the worst promos in week 1 to now, like, at this rate, like, he won for me. And like, what a comeback. Like, what a comeback. I think he's now, if he keeps this kind of thing up, I think he's going to be one of the most dangerous guys in the competition. And I thought he would be from the beginning, just because of how, creative his promo style is, and his use of the rapping with Dobson, and then like the sound effects and the going back and forth with the Big Brother thing and the over the top character. So I was like, oh yeah, no, like, he's a great guy. And so, like, I was so taken aback by week 1 that I almost forget that, yes, this is who he is. He should be a front runner in this competition, and he's showing us exactly why that is. I mean, I loved it. Keep doing what you're doing. He made, like, maybe a little bit more talk about the tables in this one, like, maybe, but great work. And also, this was another one of those situations where, like, I thought Captain Tony did a good promo. I thought it was a good promo. Like, I would have been happy with that if I was a promoter and you sent it in. But here's where, good isn't good enough, and great takes it. So I have Josh Morris winning that one with a 36 or 34.
Yeah. Tony, I have this theory that you are not just a sea captain, that you are a captain of all over. You have been in space, you have been at sea, wherever you go, you are a captain. You are a hipster captain this month, this round. I don't know, man. I at this point, if that's what you're going for, dude, let's do it. The flannel button up, you still had the hat on, you're drinking Parrot Bay. The background was different. I loved the reference of the waterlogged door because of how small he is and you don't want to go through it. That was great. Size differentiation there was good. I mean, you could have made a Titanic reference of Jack on the door, but it didn't happen. I was kind of sad about it, right? But I digress. Context, man, this is what I wanted out of you. This is what I've heard about from you. Your context was up there. Your creativity of the words that you used and the way you told the story was up there. This is definitely you. Emotion. I felt a little on your emotion, man. I believe that you're going to put this dude through a door if you need to, or a table, I mean, if you need to, but it does have to be waterlogged. You're trying to save yourself just by hurting this dude. But yeah, it was there, man. This is what I wanted. And again, now I have that theory that you're the captain. You're not a captain. You're the captain. Wherever you go, wherever you're doing, you're the captain, and you keep captaining, because I sure as hell can't do it. Josh Morris, I heard so much about you, man. I've said this before. I heard so much about you, your promos, your style, what you do, and I haven't seen it. Kind of saw it a little bit last judging. This judging is where I saw it. This is the Josh Morris that Alex Van Zant's talked about, that Cody has talked about. This is the Josh Morris that Jeremiah Goldman has told me about on numerous occasions. This is the Josh Morris that I was hoping to see all throughout this competition. And hey, if you didn't see our critiques and you fixed yourself, you fixed yourself. Being self-aware is really where it's at, right? I'm not going to say you took our notes because you said you didn't, right? But the rapping, that's where it's at. Like, that's your gimmick. You finally fully hit it. The thing I loved about this video, I was getting really annoyed with all the pop-ups and stuff and so much of it. But then I'm like, man, this is like a straight up Mount Clemens rapper video that he did on his laptop or on his phone. Like, this is it, and this is what I hate, and you're the heel, and it worked for you. But when you popped up the bookings of Tony Garrix on your display, I was like, man, there it is. Like, fill this man's bookings, fill both their bookings at that point. But that really solidified it for me for that the video part. But yeah, Josh, this is what I wanted to see out of you. This is what I'm hoping to see more of. I thoroughly enjoyed the gimmick of this, so I want to see you. I want to see you continue with this. Please, if you're not going to watch this, then F me, all right? But like, whatever, dude. You won this round.
But that, by the way, that was only for like the first round where he knew it was rough. That's the one.
Oh,
So
okay.
he was just like,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. No, he heard the last one.
So like, yes, okay,
Yeah. Okay.
Keep taking the notes, man, because that's what we want to see.
See, and then, you know, he took a loss in the first round, and now he's bounced back, and now he's got 2 wins. You know, and just like that, he's right back in the mix, dude. You know, and that's why I tell everybody, don't count yourself out. So there's
arguably the most punchable face in the competition, right? Josh Morris, I love it. It's such a great heel.
Right. There's people asking.
Josh and Fletcher up there for that. Josh and Fletcher
yeah,
Fletch up there for that. So.
Yeah, way up there for punching.
You two are up there for that. And
So
I've said it before, so.
I just want to clarify to anybody that is watching or anybody that's in this competition, there are 2 more rounds left before we get to the semifinal and final. So there'll be a total of 7 rounds. So we're in the 3rd, we're going into the 4th, then the 5th, and then we go to semifinal, then final.
There it is.
You know, and so it'll be the top 4 at the end, and then
cut to top 4.
Then the top 2, and then we will have a new. Well,
winner.
not new, but we'll have a 2022 Indie Idol. Because right now we have a 2021 and a 2022. Maybe they should have to face each other for all, you know, supremacy.
Ooh, all the marbles.
Maybe. I just seen saucy Josh Morris is watching and is actually watching us live right now. So good job, dude.
There he is.
Good job. Also, Alex Steele and a couple other people are watching as well. So good job, all. Everybody that won, everybody that lost. Like, it's not personal.
No,
it's really not. We said it at the beginning. I know Mark Ross thinks it's personal. It's not personal, man. But I know you're going to take it personal because you want to win this thing.
Oh yeah,
and that's the fighter spirit out of all of you. And I really think that this is one of the best groups that could be doing this right now. You have a few seasoned people and you have a few that aren't seasoned, man, and they are hungry. And again, if I was a promoter, a lot of you would be getting calls from me.
Right. And that's awesome for, you know, somebody like Johnny Delicious to say. And, you know, because he is, you know, you've been in the business for a while now, my man, you know, so it's not like
2006.
Yeah. So it's not like you're just, you know, just coming around. So that's kind of like, hey, that's cool. Right. And I mean, dude, right. I said it a couple days ago, you know, going through these is like, man, this has been the hardest round yet. Because I mean, they're just the levels have gone up. Everybody's starting to the evolution is happening. Yeah.
So much improvement, especially like the thing I love about this is looking at the people who've just leveled up within the competition itself. People like you know, TJ in particular this week, and like Davison taking the critiques and advancing her character. It's so cool to see. And some of these losses, it's like a lot of the people who lost this week would have won week 1 against themselves. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So like, this is crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
And we still, like you said, we still have time. So whatever's going on, if you think you're down and out, you're not. There's still a possibility. There is still 100% a possibility.
For sure. Well, I would like to thank you say thank you to Johnny Delicious and the 2021 Indie Idol Alex Van Zant for, you know, joining us once again for the 3rd round, this time for the judging. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody out. What?
Cody, I will see you at DBA's birthday celebration at XICW this Sunday, will I not?
Yes, you will. I will be there.
I'm shameless plug, man.
Right. You're good.
Institute of Arts, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll be there.
And if you're bored and you want to come to a party, XICW has their best in Detroit this weekend on Sunday. So
it's DBA's birthday.
It is DBA's birthday. You know what kind of party that'll be.
Right, for sure. So, Sunday, XICW. I'll be there. Come hang out. All tomorrow, right. Tuesday, right here on the Rasslin Rage YouTube channel. We'll be live for Michigan Independent Weekly at 6:30 right here on r2youtube.com. That's the letter R, the number 2, youtube.com. Yes, I do own that. I do. It's pretty cool. But anyways, thank you to everybody for joining us. Make sure you smash the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course, check out all the promos. Down in the description, there are links to the playlists for each round. So we're in the third. So there's the first round, the second round, and the third. And then the fourth round will be coming really, really soon. So thanks again. You guys have a great night. Thanks for joining us. We are out of here.
Thank you.
This is Rasslin Rage. Do it now. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. It's going down. This is Rasslin Rage. Do it now.